All right, what's going on, people? We got about a minute 20 left in the game. Florida's up 84-74 over Kentucky. They look like they're going to hang on to win. As I guess I'll provide play-by-play commentary. Let's see. It's 5:20. I bet this game will end at 5:25 because there's going to be nonstop fouls unless Kentucky doesn't make these free throws here. As Ortega is at the line, and then Florida can hit. If Florida can make their next shot, go up 12 or 13 with a minute 20 left. I think that would pretty much seal it. But we'll see. If Florida's able to hang on to this win, this is going to be a very big win. Kentucky's been the kryptonite for the Gators in basketball for quite some time, and they've always seemed to get Florida's way. And it didn't seem like that was the way that this game started. Xavier Lee got Florida's first 10 of 20 points to start the game. The defense was really good. Kentucky then was trailing by about 15 as they make the free throw, make it 84-76, minute 21. Then Kentucky goes on a run, but they got it within two, but Florida still played excellent defense. The offensive rebounds were spectacular in the second half. Urban Klapchaw was having a game. Last I saw, what he had like 19. He averaged like 9 points this season. He had 19 points. Thomas Howell getting double figures. Xavier Lee with another good game. Ruben Chinyelu, another double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds. And Kentucky really held him in check for most of the first half. But, I mean, this Gator team right now, they're finding their way as how there's the free throw line and rims in and out. Let's see. We got to make these free throws here. Thomas Howell, sixth man of the year a year ago, has been by far and away Florida's most consistent player on this Gator team this season. And he makes a second one. So now it's Florida 85, Kentucky 76, minute 20 to go. Denzel Alwardine with his return to Florida. He'll drive left side, floater, good as he fades away, makes it 85-78, and a foul with a minute 7. Xavier Lee will go to the line for 2 shots. That's Florida's in the double bonus. Make sure we're liking, subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate it. We're like right over 700. We're trying to get to 1,000 so we can get monetized and be with the cool kids and all that kind of stuff. What was I writing in my notes earlier? Something I found interesting. We've all known that Florida's Achilles heel has been their 3-point shot. No team has made, as Lee makes his first free throw, has made under 30% of their 3-point attempts and won the title. And Florida was flirting right around there. Today they were, I know that earlier they were at 40. Okay, so Lee makes both of his free throws. Xavier Lee now has 20 points. It's now Florida 87, Kentucky 78, minute 7. As Lee goes to the bench, Boogie Fland has played some really good defense today. Comes back in the game. Fland is going to be guarding. Denzel Alwardine has the left side of the lane wide open. He'll drive down, and he'll get fouled. As he gave it up, Condon with the foul. 59 seconds left. Florida's lead is 9. Florida's 3-point today, because I don't think they're going to probably shoot another 3 in this game, barring some miraculous miracle from Kentucky. Florida was 10 for 28, 36% from 3, and Kentucky was 8 for 16, 50%. As they make that free throw, Kentucky does 87-79. And the second free throw is good. 87-80 Florida. 59 seconds. Boogie Flan is going to inbound the ball. Moreno goes to the bench. He's got a double-double with 11 points, 11 rebounds. Flan's looking. Full court press from Kentucky. Dangerous throw, and he is fouled as the ball was thrown to Alex Condon. Kentucky wanted the travel. Did not happen. And that only took off 0.8 seconds. So this game's going to go a long time. One thing that Florida was able to capitalize early in the first half as Brandon Garrison fouls out for Kentucky. Florida was able to get points off turnovers, something that Kentucky wasn't able to do. I know Florida was able, they were forcing more turnovers earlier in the game. Florida kind of went into a slump to start the second half, but Florida had 11 points at one point off Kentucky's 6 turnovers. And let's see, Kentucky had 0 points off of Florida's 3 turnovers halfway through the first half as Florida had a 32-17 lead early in the game. And that was pretty pivotal because if it probably weren't for that hot start that Florida had the first 10 minutes of the game, this game would either be tied or Florida would probably be trailing by a little bit as Xavier Lee started off hot and they never really looked back. I don't think Florida did not trail as the score is now 88-80. Florida leads 58 seconds to go after Condon went to the charity stripe. Florida never trailed this game, I don't think. 3 from Kentucky, way off the arc. They get their own offensive rebound. Aberdeen, top of the key, off the arc as well, a little too hard. Another offensive rebound. Aberdeen at the top of the key. He'll give it up, and woo, white boy makes it. What was his name again? Number 5. It's now 88-83, 36 seconds left. So Florida cannot turn the ball over. What's homeboy's name? Those offensive rebounds I was just talking about just hurt Florida there. Kentucky got 2. It was Chandler. Chandler's got 5 threes. As Kentucky's only 9 for 19, he's got most of them. So Florida 88, Kentucky 83, 36.8 seconds left. What would be a big win. And credit to Kentucky because if you look at Florida's last couple of SEC games, I mean, they've dominated. They beat Georgia soundly. They beat them by 20. They beat A&M by the same margin. They beat Alabama by 23. You go into late January, they beat South Carolina 95-48. They lose to Auburn. That was their tough one. So Florida's been on a hot streak, mostly with their defense and able to use their bigs and to get the offensive rebounds, which they're probably the best in the country, if not one of the best. They're certainly in the top 5, top 10 in that conversation. As the 3-point ball was the one that's kind of propelled them today. Florida, remember a couple weeks ago when they played Alabama, they had 3 threes and still had 100 points. And they're starting to find their rhythm. I mean, the one thing that has been Florida's Achilles heel all year has been the 3-point. And let's see, what's their total? What did I say earlier? Florida's 10 for 28. Let's see. Buggy Flan's going to inbound the ball. 36 seconds left, up 5. He gives it to Urban. He'll give it to Lee. We got a 2-on-1. He'll dribble it out, and he'll get fouled from behind. 31 seconds left. Xavier Lee will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Both teams in a double bonus. So every foul from here on out is going to be 2 free throws. Lee makes his first one, 89-83. Let's see here. Points. Lee's got 21. Clavachar Herbs has 19. Thomas Howell has 17. Alex Condon has 14. Ruben Chainley 10. Boogie Flan has 6. So Lee makes both free throws, makes it a 90-83 ball game. Let's see. They're going to give it up. It's going to be Aberdeen, who's going to dribble the ball up. 30 seconds left. Kentucky's down 7. And he's going to drive to the left side of the basket, lose the ball, but it's going to go out on Boogie Flan. Nice defense by him. Let's see. 22 seconds left. Kentucky's going to inbound the ball. They're going to give it to their big guy. He's in the corner, killing time. Tick, tick, tick. 17, 16. There's a steal, and that should do it. Boogie Flan gets the steal, gets an exceptional defensive game. Todd Golden pumps up the crowd, and that'll do it. You would think. 15 seconds left. Florida's up 7. As Boogie Flan gets the steal. You make both these free throws. And that will probably do it. He'll make his first one, nothing but net. God, it's so nice to have a coach that's fiery. And he'll make the second one. 92-83, Florida leads. 15 seconds left in the game, and there's a timeout. So looking at the SEC standings, going into today, Florida had a 1 game lead on Kentucky and Arkansas, a game and a half lead on Vanderbilt. So now that Kentucky lead is going to go to 2. And Florida plays Arkansas the last game of the regular season on the 28th. And that game will be at home. Florida has 4 more SEC games. They'll play South Carolina at home on Tuesday. That game will be at 7 o'clock on SEC Network. Next Saturday will be at Ole Miss. Then they'll go to Texas, and then they'll play Arkansas at home. So it looks like Florida should be favored in all of those games, and they should be the 1 seed in the SEC, as they'll have a 1 game lead on Arkansas. They'll play them at the end of the year. And Vanderbilt, they have a game and a half lead on, as Florida's continuing to play their best basketball in their last couple of weeks, really, since they've gotten into SEC play. They had 1 bad loss. That was to Auburn a couple weeks ago. Since then, they've been on a roll, and they've been answering a lot of questions with their 3. They were able to get about 36%, which has been, a lot better than what they have been. Coming into today, they were 350th from three-point land when it comes to three-point percentage. As I don't know if y'all were, if you saw earlier, that there's been no team that's ever won the title that had worse than 30% from 3. Let's see, Florida's up 92-83, 15 seconds left coming out of the timeout. Kentucky has the ball. And Aberdeen, in his return to Gainesville, is going to dribble it up. He'll get a pick from the right side, and he will clank off the back of the rim. Chinyelu will bring it out of the rebound. 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it. Florida gets the big win over Kentucky. Let's see here. What's Florida's record now? So Florida should move to 10-2 in conference play. Let's see. It's still not even updated in the SEC yet. So they're 19-6. They got a 2 game lead on Kentucky, 1 game lead on Arkansas, who they'll play the last game of the regular season, as this was a nice win, a really, really nice win. It's hard not to look at how they started the game and to say that this was the reason they won this game. As let me see what the scores were. So I know Florida, they jumped out to an early lead. They made it 18-8, and then it was 22-10. It was 26-17, 27-17, 30-17, 32-17. And then when did Kentucky start to go on their run? It was so Florida went from 32-17, and then Kentucky made it 32-27, went back and forth for a little bit, and then Florida goes up by another 7 or 8 points. Kentucky makes it close, and that was the first half. It was a 43-34 first half. And in the second half, Kentucky kind of made it close to start the second half, but Florida, to their credit, never, let the game go away. Florida had a couple of turnovers in the middle part of that second half, but they never got it. They never let it too loose to lose the game. I'm Dylan Denmark. We appreciate everybody popping in here. Make sure we like and subscribe to the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated as we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're around just over 700. And this was a big win. Defensively, even though Kentucky scored 83 and Florida wins by 9, it felt like Florida's lead. It never felt like, you tell me guys in the comment section, it never felt like Florida was going to lose this game. There was a couple of times where Kentucky came close, but the way Florida was able to offensive rebound, the way they were able to play their defense, and to get multiple guys going on offense. Xavier Lee to start, Thomas Howell being the most consistent guy from beginning to end. Urban Clavichaw, for him to get going, to get around 20 points, only averaging 9 throughout the season. Big win for the Gators. Maybe not belt, but it's a damn sure a W, and that's exactly right. A lot of people were concerned about the way Florida started their season, not, starting off hot, not getting a 3 going, but being close with UConn and Duke and Arizona. This team is catching their stride at the right time. Going with a couple of games left in the SEC. Their last game is going to be 2 weeks from today, so they got 4 games left. I would expect Florida to be favored for the rest of the regular season, be the 1 seed in the SEC tournament. You would think that they're going to at least make the Final Four of the SEC tournament, if not make the championship game. Probably be a 3 seed, maybe a 2 seed, depending on how things shake out with the rest of the league. The Big 12 they're by far the deepest conference. I was watching Iowa State, I'm sure like most of you were, on ABC before this game, and they took belt. You talk about not just W, but they took belt to Kansas, and they've done that for the last week and a half against really good teams, and they're one of the hottest teams ranked in the top 10. And Florida, you would think if they continue to win the next week or two, some teams ahead of them are going to lose, and they're probably going to be in the top 10 by SEC tournament play. One would think. We'll see. So, great win for the Florida Gators. Graham Marsh wasn't able to join us. He has a wife, and I don't know if y'all are aware, it's Valentine's Day, and he had dinner reservations for 5:45. He does not prioritize this podcast. Whatever. Graham's a loser. He'll catch us on the next time. I prioritize this. This is the number one thing. Coming to this weekend, we had to watch the Gator game. We had to get a pod in, and we got to watch Daytona. We watched the truck race last night. The ARCA race was at noon. Whatever the hell they call it now, the Busch Nationwide Xfinity Series. Where's that on? It's not on FS1. That game or that race should be on right now. And then the Daytona 500 tomorrow. So a lot of things going on. And then Gator baseball started this weekend with a doubleheader today. I think they're expected rain tomorrow. I know I'm in Jacksonville. I know we're expecting some rain tomorrow afternoon. So they put the 2 games up today and did that. And all is good. So great win for your Florida Gators. Shooting the ball from three, hopefully that continues, continuing to get the offensive rebounds and get threes and do all those things. Like and subscribe.